Hello, everybody. I'm back for part number two. Like I said, I probably would be, and it looks like I am back. As you can see, I got the link over here. It's on the right on my side, but it's in the comment section for y'all below. Anybody can feel welcome to come up here and click the link today. If you have any debates as far as what I have presented, as far as this new addition to cosmology from a flat Earth perspective regarding the Southern Lights. Um, what I'll be showing today is the fact that, like I mentioned yesterday, there were indigenous Australians that knew about the Southern Lights. And it's been taught out here that the Southern Lights, or the Northern Lights, I mean to say, are the only thing that the ancients know about. So my whole purpose today is showing that the ancients did know about the phenomena of the Southern Lights. And that in itself discredits the statement that the Northern Lights is the only thing that the ancients revered. I do want to note you that if nobody has any debate for me, this does, and I can only take that as a complete debunk. I mean, there is a difference between debating something and debunking something. Both of them got D. But when you debate something, that means that there's a possibility you might be right. But when somebody full-fledged debunks something, that means there's no debating at all. So that's why I say this is your chance. I'm going to leave this panel open and running after I show what I show. I'm just going to leave it open and running because I got other things to do. I'll be drawing in the background, and I'll let this thing run for about 2 hours just to prove my point. 2 or 3 hours out of my 20-hour stream yard limit. Just to prove my point that nobody has any debate against what I'm saying. I'm going to leave it at that. So let me show what I need to show real quick. Hold on. One second. What did I type in? I'm on my phone checking to see what it was I typed in. Okay, got it. Oh, no, you did not. Now, my whole point in this right here is to show that, number one, I first have to question you as far as any ancient cosmologists out here. Have they ever talked about Australians and their cosmology? Have they taught you thoroughly, like every other ancient civilization in their cosmology? Have they taught you thoroughly about them? You can answer that question yourself. What Corey is doing right now is showing you that the indigenous Australians, in fact, did know of the Aurora Australis, which is the Southern Lights. And I'm showing you what they said that they were associated with. Now, you can first relapse on what you've been taught by other ancient cosmologists about what the auroras are. You've heard what? That they are the ancestors going home. Well, right here you can see, and I'm going to pull up different articles, not just stop at one, because I never do that the Southern Lights were, as you can see right there. In Australian indigenous astronomical traditions, the celestial lights of Aurora Australis are associated with fire, death, blood, and omens. Not sounding too good, is it? Kind of the complete opposite of what's up north. Okay. But one thing's for sure is it's not saying that there's no southern lights. Okay. One thing's for sure is if you've been taught by other ancient cosmologists out here that they don't show you this in the south, or all that the ancients knew about was the northern lights, that's a lie. That's a half truth at that point. That's not all of the truth. The full truth is that the southern lights do exist, and there are ancient, if we're going to go based off of what the ancients said that there are southern lights. Okay? That's just fact based. Let me see where we at. 0. How can the sky prove the shape of the ground? You mean the firmament at that point. Let me see how I can answer that. How can the sky prove the shape of the ground? You can use geometry. That's the simplest way I can answer that. You can use geometry in order to, and the movement. Paying attention to the movement of the sky can help reveal the shape of the ground. That's one way. But the best way is to study the ground itself or the water. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to try to make sure I stay on topic here. And I just want to be respectful and say I would like for y'all to do that too. You know what I mean? Let's make sure we stay on topic. You get me? Parts of Australia have been privileged to see dazzling lights in the night sky as the Aurora Australis, known as the Southern Lights, puts on the show this year. A recent surge in solar activity caused spectacular auroral displays across the world. While common over the polar regions, aurora are rare over Australia and are typically restricted to far southern regions such as Tasmania and Victoria. Okay, that's why I mentioned Tasmania yesterday, because it's an island, like I said, that's off of Australia, adjacent to it. But recently, aurorae have been visible over the whole southern half of Australia, seen as far north as Uluru and Brisbane. Different cultures. It's a phenomenon that has existed since the Earth's formation and has been witnessed by cultures around the world. These cultures developed their own explanation for the lights in the sky, many of which are strikingly similar. From a scientific point of view, aurora form when charged particles of solar wind are channeled to the polar regions of Earth's magnetic field. These particles ionize oxygen and nitrogen molecules in the upper atmosphere, creating light. Auroral displays can show various colors, from white to yellow, red, green, and blue. They can appear as a nebulous, glowing arcs or curtains waving across the sky. Aurorae are also reported to make strange sounds on rare occasions. Okay. In the Arctic, this is very important. This is going in conjunction with what other people have taught. Okay. In the Arctic, the Inuit, which is, if you don't know what the Inuit are, that's a Canadian civilization. Inuktitut is a long way of, anyway, the Inuit say the noise is made by spirits playing a game or trying to communicate with the living. What you've been taught is that the aurora are the ancestors going home. Okay. Now, when I say that I'm not mentioning somebody, I want to let it be thoroughly known. I'm really doing what I'm doing the way that I'm doing for a specific reason. I'm not mentioning specific people for a reason. I will let you know that I was around. Okay. That should say enough. Okay. I was around. So at the end of the day, I don't need anybody saying that I'm clout chasing, because Corey doesn't need clout. Corey has the truth. I don't have any beef with anyone. Um, I'm not faking anything with anyone in case something was directed towards me. I did realize that there was somebody who's been on my channel who I called whether I just don't know at this point. I don't know. That's why I don't like when people are not direct themselves. But when I made my video yesterday, I did not specify what flat earther or any one flat earther. I actually said all flat earth and get your strongest one you got. And I'm pretty sure that put y'all in mind on one person. The last time I heard from that brother, or that he mentioned me in a slick way, it was about some magic. All right. I've pretty much been gone since. And some people may not even remember certain stuff that I'm talking about. You may not even remember the video I'm talking about. It was taken down. Okay. So I'm being vague for a reason to not spark problems. But if there is any debate as far as what I have, I don't care who. I just want you to know. I do not care who it is. I will carry myself very professional on any platform that I get on. And people will do nothing but learn. But they're not going to learn what you want them to learn. They're not going to come to the conclusion you want them to come to. I can guarantee you that. It's not going with the flat earth narrative. It's not going with a narrative that somebody else has been pushing out here. I'm not trying to tear anyone down. How come it's like as soon as I provide, that's in case someone was talking about me. As soon as I provide what I'm providing, it's all intellectual stuff. I'm sticking to nothing but intellectual stuff. And what I mentioned about the hacking yesterday in my video, I had to bring it up because that's something that's literally going on. That's the reason why I've been gone. It's silly for me not to even have to mention why I've been gone, knowing that somebody in the community is sitting up and playing stupid. I'm not playing stupid and playing like I am cool with somebody. I'm not mentioning names just because, okay? But if you're smart enough to figure things out, you're smart enough to figure things out. It's just that simple. But when it comes to the intellectual debates, if you have one, you know who you are. I have a channel right here, so don't look at it like Corey's scared to hop on somebody's channel. Say my name. I dare someone to say my name. I double dog dare somebody to say my name. And I'll pop up like Candyman. You ain't got to say it 5 times. Say it once. I seen the video from PR Corey and this and that, because after all, we'll do that with anybody else's video out here, right? Everybody will do that with other people's video, right? So I don't want to see brothers going on people's panels, probably talking that have been on my channel almost every video at one point. And possibly, I'm not blaming this on them. I'm talking in the sense of if the shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it. But possibly talking about Corey. I haven't streamed in forever, in a very long time. And then I also noticed that it was other people who hadn't streamed in a long time. They streamed too, or streamed at places that they had not streamed at in a very long time. I was there. And I'm also going to warn them that I'm still a moderator there too. So if I need to be removed from being a moderator, you can do that too, if you need to. Because I won't be commenting over there. That's why I don't comment anymore. But I still be watching. I'm going to keep it real with you. Because when you have somebody talking slick and all crazy and stuff like that, it pays you to. If you're going to have me hacked and be watching me at any time of the day, have access into my stuff, you best believe I'm going to watch you. Because I'm not going to hack you back. But from this point on, I'm going to focus on the intellectual stuff, okay? That's what this is all about. I know that I'm going to have to redo these videos, okay? And the reason why is because people on a professional side, when you're dealing with real information, I'm full-fledged debunking the flat earth, people. And you need to realize that. And that's why none of y'all can come up here and stick to the topic and debate me. And I say that very strongly. Have y'all forgot who you dealing with? Have you forgot when I used to be in people comment section and nobody ever beat me in a debate? Have you forgot that I beat who y'all was, really revere in debates several times? I haven't lost one debate. Not one. Okay? So you fucking with the right, wrong one. All right? That's my own thing. I'm the right one. I'm the right. I'm the right, wrong one. I'm the wrong one to be fucking with, but I'm the right one if you for that bullshit. You get what that mean? I'm the right, wrong one. That's what when I say that I'm the right, wrong one, that's what the fuck that means. If you looking for that bullshit, I'm that right, wrong one to be fucking with. And it come to this shit. Because Corey is the truth. I'm not talking about street ignorant shit. I'm talking about I'm not out here to tear nobody down, but it seemed like when Corey come out, he's so potent with his information. It's like people want to look at it like he trying to tear somebody down. It's always your own kind trying to tear somebody down and stuff like that. Now, if it ain't directed towards me, it ain't. But I can't help but when I see different activity and I know what's going on in the background, I can't help but think of the possibility. And so therefore I'm not talking definitively as if it were me, but I'm talking as far as the possibility. And if it ain't possibly me, then cool. Let's keep it rolling beyond that point. They are quite different from Inuit traditions of the Aurora Borealis, which are more festive. So, and there you have a video I actually told y'all about the Aurora Australis. One way that you could identify, because see, I think like flat earths. I know how y'all are as conspiracy theorists. You have to think like an investigator. Y'all yourself, I already put myself in y'all's position as far as thinking. I know how y'all think. And one of the main things y'all would think as far as the auroras, how do you know that they not just showing you, how do you know that's really in the south and that it's not in the north? That's why yesterday what I brought up was how, if you were navigating, how would you identify whether you're in south or north? You would look for the North Star. Number one, what you're going to look at, you're not going to find a North Star. And you know why? Because there is no North Star in the south. There's only a southern pivot point around a pivot, a circling. Just because there's no star, it doesn't mean that there's no South Pole. That means there's no polar star down there. Okay? That doesn't mean that there's no South Pole. Do you get that? There's a pivot in which it pivots around the south. Just like in the north, it's a mirror. We're not going to play these games. Okay? And beyond that, you have a Southern Cross, which has never in eternity been seen in the north, nor has the Big Dipper, which helps you find the North Star. It has never been seen in the south. These are two guaranteed, non-debatable, non-debunkable, but righteous methods of determining whether you are in the north or south upon looking at the sky, even from video. Period. So I could play that video, but I don't want my computer slowing down like that. Because I ain't got the fastest stuff. All right. I ain't got hacker quality stuff where I'm looking at, able to look at different monitors and stuff and see people's phone screens while I'm live and stuff. You know what I mean? I ain't got that type of stuff going on. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Fire in the sky. Aboriginal people commonly saw aurora as fires in the cosmos. The Gundit Jamara of Western Victoria, their Paw Bay ashes, their Paw Bay, that's what they are to them, ashes. To the Ganai of eastern Victoria, they're bushfires in the spirit world and an omen of a coming catastrophe. Now, when y'all think about hearing that, one thing that you have to think is that the ancients, or you have to realize, is that the ancients were not always right. Okay? They were not always right. Just they were open to being, they were human beings just like us. Ancient does not mean perfect. You cannot look at ancient and conjunct that with the word perfect or always right, definitively right. If it's ancient, it's right. Okay. Ancients had fuck ups too. So what I'm saying that for is when it says that the auroras down in the south were a sign or omen of a coming catastrophe. The auroras are seen every single year at a particular time, stronger than others. That would mean it's a coming catastrophe every year. Every year. So you have to think outside of the box. They had mythologies for a reason, just like we have mythologies this day. But now in this day, we're more focused on the truth. And that's why I'm showing y'all this. Because no flat earther has come out and shown y'all anything about the Southern Lights. It's not been discussed by flat earthers because they tell y'all that it is no South Pole. Flat earthers are the main people following me to talk direct to y'all. Y'all say that there is no South Pole. So how do you have Southern Lights on your cosmology? And why do you not see it anciently depicted on your cosmology whenever one person or multiple people pulls up different pictures of ancient cosmology? Okay? You should see some remnants of the Southern Lights and Northern Lights. Why don't they draw out the ancestors' road home? That's very important, you know? Why did it take Corey to draw it out? Because I did, and you didn't. Why did it take Corey to bring this to you if I'm not the number one? It's not about competing. Corey does not seek to compete. I'm not a competitor, man. I compete with myself. I don't compete with nobody else but myself. And that's reality. I seek to compete with the person in the mirror, outdo myself from yesterday, not compete with other people, all right? And I suggest y'all do the same, because all it make you is a bitch nigga to compete with other men all the time. I'm keeping you real. I'm keeping it real with you. As soon as you got to compete with somebody else, you seek to compete with someone else, you basically a follower of them. You offer your own road. You do not have your own focus. A real man is going to focus on himself, not seek to compete all the time with other men. Now, when it comes to debate being in my title, that's why I put constructive debating. Because and I'm the first person to say that, coin that term, just like open research and shit like that. You know what I mean? One second. All right. See, whenever I mention something about being first, that's not about competition. That's just about credit. You see what I mean? That's not about competing with anybody. That's about credit. When you do something first, which is dope, and which other people see, that's dope. I'm gonna say that, something similar. You deserve your credit. It's not about competing. It's about because I know I'm dope as a mug, and I see other niggas I inspire. Period. Point blank. That's what it's about. Continuing to read. As far north as southwestern Queensland, Aboriginal people saw the phenomenon as feast fires of the Owala Pika, ghostly beings who spoke to elders through the aurora. The Maori of Aotearoa, New Zealand, I'm not used to this language, saw aurora as the campfires of ancestors reflected in the sky. These ancestors sailed southward in their canoes and settled on the land of the ice in the far south. Okay? The southern lights let people know they will one day return. This is similar to an Algonquin story from North America. Okay? A warning to follow sacred law. Mungan Nagor, a powerful. Now think about the word gore as well. Mungan Ngor, a powerful sky ancestor in Gunai traditions, set rules for male initiation and put his son in charge of the ceremonies. My bad, man. When people leaked secret information about these ceremonies, Mungan cast down a great fire to destroy the earth. The people saw this as an aurora. Near Uluru, a group of hunters broke whatever that word is, law by killing and cooking a sacred emu. They saw smoke rise to the south, towards the land of Jura. This was the aurora, viewed as poisonous flames that signaled coming punishment. The diary also believe in aurora is a warning that someone is being punished for breaking traditional laws, which causes great fear. The breaking of traditional laws would result in an armed party coming to kill the lawbreakers when they least expect. In this context, fear of an aurora was utilized to control behavior and social standards. This is nothing like anything that you have read from or regarding the Northern Lights. And this is very important, something not to be looked over if we're talking about ancient cosmology and what the ancestors said. Because this is what the ancestors said as far as the South, the Southern Lights, which does not exist on a flat earth. You do not have a South Pole. And I told y'all, the ancestors did not depict any uh in any of their cosmology. You don't see anything, any drawn out Southern Lights, nothing. You would think that road home would be very important, to point out on the cosmology. I mean, let's get real. You would think that, come on, man. Imagine making a map, which is what the cosmology is. It's a map of the world you live in. Imagine making a map and you ain't even drawing the roads. That don't even make sense. Come on now. You're going to put the stars, you're going to put everything else. How come I had to be the first flat earther to even put the Northern Lights and Southern Lights both there? Well, I ain't going to say the first flat earther because that's what I was when I was not as woke as you want to say as I am now. Okay? Because every year it's a growing process, an infinite growing process. I'm never going to look at it like I'm not going to be stagnant. To Aboriginal communities across the New South Wales, I'm right here, New South Wales, Victoria, and South Australia, auroral displays represented blood that was shed by warriors fighting a great battle in the sky or by spirits of the dead rising to the heavens. Celestial events that appear red are often linked to blood, including meteors and eclipses. A total lunar eclipse turns the moon red, sometimes called a blood moon, which was seen by some communities as The spirit of a dead man rising from his grave. That sounds like who? The J word, right? Jesus. Rare astronomical events were viewed. The Holy Spirit, okay? The Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Spirit. The moon is spherical. Clearly, we're not going to debate that. And I promise y'all, flat earthers don't want to go there. You better pump your brakes, okay? Because all of that stuff, I already told you I got some more stuff coming for you. And I'm giving too much of a hint. So you better pump your brakes because I'm going to have an experiment and you ain't going to have anything, all right? I'm going to be able to show and prove and y'all ain't going to be able to, all right? let me, I'm keeping it real with you. Let me check and see. It's no horizontal squares. I'm back, I swear to God. Okay. Cool. Shout outs to you, London man. Put you on shout out there real quick. Already. It's no horizontal squares or straight lines on the globe. Perpendicular and parallel is impossible. You use this in all of your drawings. Make the globe make sense. How about you make most sense balanced truths by sticking to the topic, sir? Which I said, unless you came in late. You see, I don't see y'all going in other people's comment sections commenting about irrelevant stuff. When people go to comment about irrelevant topics or irrelevant things beyond the topic, what that shows me is that you do not have the mind to debate what it is that I'm saying. You don't have any proof. You can't disprove what it is that I'm saying, so you got to go to something irrelevant to steer the narrative. So I'm going to ask you to make sense of what I'm saying. How does the Southern Lights work on a flat earth? And you can click the link. Or you can drop it in the comment section. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. I'm waiting. But stick to the topic, sir. Because I can answer all of that later. I will come back and answer that later. But stick to the topic, please. 32:40. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'll tell because there's nothing that a flat earther could say, bro. Y'all haven't talked about the Southern Lights, and that don't make sense. You get what I'm saying? Time's ticking. You almost got 10 seconds left. Y'all funny, man. That's funny. 12:13. The face of a sphere 2D. My previous comment was, how can the sky prove the ground, sir? The sky don't have a south pole. Don't make sense. The way you spell sense don't make sense, sir. You comprehend that? SENSE. Pardon? Okay? So, the sky don't have a south pole. Don't make sense. It does have a pivoting point, is what I said. What do you mean it doesn't have a south pole? I never said that the sky has a south pole. If you look at the celestials up above, they pivot around a point. Period, point blank. They make a revolution. They make a circle. That's the whole point. Okay? That's not how you spell sense in that tense. You get that? When you say sense, doesn't make any sense. It's not SINCE. Okay? That's why I told you it's SENSE. And you're not going to say, you're supposed to know what I mean. No, if you're really intelligent as you trying to make it out to be and you know more than me, you should at least know how to spell correctly. Okay? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just keeping it real with you because ain't nobody who can't get this right simply gonna tell me or try to convince me that if you can't lift a 2 pound dumbbell, what make you think you're gonna be able to lift a 45? Hmm. If you can't handle something simple, beat me in a debate on something simple as that spelling. What makes you think when it comes to something more serious, which holds more weight, such as there being a southern pole, or not, if you don't want to use the word pole, that's why Corey says a pivoting point in which a revolution occurs in the South. Can you answer the question? What question is it? Which question is it? This right here. The face of a sphere 2D. My previous comment was how can the sky prove the ground? That's not what I'm doing. I'm not using the sky to prove it. Well, that's the thing. In a way, I'll give you that. I can comprehend that. Using something, a phenomena in the sky to prove that the ground, because this is the thing. When you look at the revolution of the stars, even, they turn counterclockwise in different directions. When you look at the stars, both north and south, on a flat earth is not supposed to do that. That's one thing. That's one way you can prove that. You can use the sky to prove that the ground cannot be staying it can't be staying flat. And then the sky be doing that. If you don't have a pole, how do you have southern lights on a flat earth? That's my question to you. If the southern lights exist, which they do, how come flat earthers have not talked about the southern lights? And why are they not depicted on the flat earth? That's why I'm using the sky to prove. That's one way to use the sky to prove the ground shape, because you cannot have it on a flat earth. And if it can't work out on a flat earth, that means the earth can't be flat. That's what I'm letting you know. That's why you don't see any work or any nothing. You can go to Google and YouTube, nothing about the southern lights and flat earth. Circles the globe, uses stolen concepts from a 2D circle and give properties of a 3D sphere. I seriously don't comprehend. That's not even a full sentence. Circles the globe, uses stolen concepts from a 2D circle. Last time I checked, the whole flat earth map is stolen and it's a flattened globe, sir. The whole circle of the flat earth comes from the globe. It's flattened out. The AE map, the notorious AE map, yeah. So it makes sense of that. That's what's stolen, sir. You get what I'm saying? See, I ain't gonna call you a chatty patty or nothing like that. If you don't want to get on the panel, I understand. I said don't be scared. I don't care how anybody, if it suits you best to go in the comment section and can type, and that's bad. I understand. Some people can't handle people directly. So I'm gonna go back to reading. You now, the first thing I'm gonna ask you is which one existed first, the AE map or the globe? Okay, that's why they call it azimuthal equidistant for a reason. Now, the moon turning red during an eclipse, also known as a blood moon, NASA, in 1859, Aboriginal people in South Australia witnessed an auroral display and a total lunar eclipse. This caused great fear and anxiety. I think they meant and anxiety, signaling the arrival of dangerous spirit beings. There could be a repeat of this astronomical double act as a lunar eclipse will be visible across Australia. This is old. Let's see if we respond. You said you can tell by the star patterns. The star patterns move in a circle, right? We know that a circle has 360 degrees. We use a straight line to get the radius. Comprehensible. Yes, we use a straight line to get the radius. Okay, I understand. You said you can tell by the star patterns that patterns move in a circle. We know that a circle has 360 degrees. Right. That circle in the sky is also a celestial sphere for a reason. And that's actually on a globe or a flat earth. It's spherical. But if you're on a flat earth, what you saying, excuse me, to get the radius of what? The earth or the celestial sphere? Because the radius is halfway from the center point to the edge of a circle. Okay. I'm gonna go to another article. So the radius on the flat earth, is from the North Pole to the ice wall. Aurora australis, or the southern lights, are significant in Aboriginal astronomical traditions. They are generally associated with fire, death, blood, and omens. This is like the same thing. They be, repeating these things. It's the same thing. Not too good of an art. No, no, no. What am I watching and why do YouTube recommend this? What you are watching deals with the debunking the flat earth. Victor C. Shout out to you. I appreciate you watching. If you don't like it, um, you already know. But why did YouTube? It probably recommended it to you. That's crazy. That's what's up. It's probably a very important video then. It's probably a sign. A nigga on the come up, creeping on the come up. That's what it is. Parts of Australia have been privileged to see dazzling lights in the night sky as the Aurora Australis, known as the Southern Lights, puts on the show this year. A recent surge in solar activity showed spectacular auroral displays across the world. While common, I do want to say thank you for coming too before you leave. While common over the polar regions, aurorae are rare over Australia and are typically restricted to far southern regions such as Tasmania and Victoria. Different cultures. It's a phenomenon that has existed since the Earth's formation and has been witnessed by cultures around the world. These cultures developed their own explanation for the lights in the sky, many of which are strikingly similar. From a scientific point of view, aurora form when charged particles of, this is stuff we already know, repeated. In the Arctic, the Inuit say the noise is made by spirits playing a game or trying to communicate with the living. In 1851, Aboriginal people near Hobart said the aurora made a noise like people snapping their fingers. The cause of this noise is unknown. Aurora are significant in Australian indigenous astronomical traditions. Aboriginal people associate aurora with fire, death, blood, and omens. See, they saying the same order of stuff and everything. They copy and pasting basically. Fire in the sky. I mean, it's like copy and pasted stuff. A warning to follow sacred law. Right. It's crazy. It's like almost the same exact article. Is it? It ain't the same website. Oh, that's loading. Surveying debunks flat Earth. If we have elevation changes, it can't be flat. Right. That's true. If you have elevation changes, you have elevation changes on the terrain literally goes in different. I mean, the thing is, on the flat Earth, the land could be pyramidal shape. I comprehend the flat Earth very good, but it don't mean that it's flat. I comprehend both of the cosmology. I feel like that's a wise position to be in. It makes you unbiased. I'm a non-glober, not a flat earther. That's good. That's where I'm at. 4.5, the center. True. That's where I'm at. It's the best way to be. That way, once the truth really get proved, it ain't like you ain't the person that's like looking looking real messed up out here. But just let anybody know, anybody who wants to debate. Dang it. Corey is ready. Okay, I accept because y'all tripping. Have you ever looked south on a dark night and noticed a faint glow of light arching across the horizon? For those in the far south as Tasmania, you might have even seen red and green waves dancing across the sky. These are southern lights, also known as the aurora australis. The swirling lights of the aurora are a rare sight. Okay, nothing here. Hmm. Okay, cool. Global culture reviews. Indigenous cultures, particularly those located at latitudes near the south and north poles, feature aurorae through their astronomical traditions. In Inuit, which, like I mentioned to y'all, is most northern Canadian civilization, in Inuit traditions of the Hudson Strait in far north Quebec, Canada, the aurorae represent the torches of spirits who led the souls of the recently deceased to paradise. So that right there goes in conjunction with what you have been taught by other ancient cosmologies. Okay, that is a factual thing that the ancients did say, but it's not the only thing that they said. Is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. In the Aotearoa, whatever that is, New Zealand, the Maori of Wangani called the Southern Lights I know I ain't reading these right, which translates to Great Glowing Sky. Long ago, ancestors left islands in the Central Pacific and reached Aotearoa, arriving on a series of waka canoes. One of those, one of these waka continued sailing southward, eventually settling on lands unknown for over the southern. Yeah, this is the same stuff I read. It's like reading the same stuff over and over and over. Like, come with something new. The color of darkness. In terms of Western science, aurora are created by hot. That's why I'm telling y'all there ain't much out here. Where I mean, flat earthers ain't. It ain't much out here, if anything, about the Southern Lights. And all I'm saying is that it had to be, and I'll pull up my picture I drew out too. That's on the thumbnail. Sound alike. Yeah, this stuff is. This is something new. Views of the aurora are being erased and continually threatened by encroaching light pollution. As our views of the stars are washed out, so are the traditions linking to them. Innovations in astrotourism have opened up new and improved ways of accessing the southern lights. Rather than waiting on the lights to come to you, you go to them. In April of 2021, both joined Mark Rigby as the astronomer guides on Melbourne's first ever aurora flight, taking off on a Qantas Boeing 787 with 240 fellow space enthusiasts. The 11-hour trip took us south towards Antarctica. After a while, the cabin lights were dimmed. The aurora first materialized as a faint white ribbon slithering across the sky. As our eyes adjusted, we could make out the distinctly green dancing curtains. It was the first time either of us had ever seen the aurora. These southern lights have inspired observers for millennia and will continue to do so, but only if we can keep our skies dark. That's it for that. Mm-hmm. Peace, much love. I'm just going to learn. Thanks, PR. Already, no problem, bro. No problem at all, man. That's what I'm here for, is to not be a teacher, but just a messenger. That's it. A messenger of truth. That's it. I really would love for the strongest flat earther y'all know to debunk this, the Southern Lights, and or teach about it. They ain't even got to look. I'm gonna put it like this too. You know who I know who y'all got in mind. Y'all know y'all ain't stupid. And they ain't even look. They ain't even got to say my name. But if they want to debate, they better say my name. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If they want to debate, they better say my name. But as far as talking about it, they ain't even got to say my name. You just know where it came from first. So I'm gonna leave that there and let y'all. I pretty much showed that. Oh yeah, the picture I could at least show. That's one thing I could do. And talk about that and explain what I'm saying. Uh, Stop screen, share screen. Good to hear from all y'all, and I hope y'all do good in life. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe out here. This right here. See right here what I drew out. This will be where the ice wall is at. You see this, all of this right here, the cracks and stuff that you see going. That's just my artistic, cartoonistic way of showing the ice wall. I don't know what's beyond out here. It could be as far as the multiverse theory, because on the flat Earth, the Earth is the universe itself. These stars is every constellation is up here on the flat Earth. Every constellation you can think of. But as far as the multiverse being other worlds and stuff like that, it could be bubble wrap. It could be another, like a bubble wrap thing on a flat Earth thing, or it could be rings. So that's what I'm saying. As far as flat Earth is, they push. It's not definitive. You got different ways or concepts right there. It's interesting. I'll give it that. It is very interesting. That's why I've always liked hearing about it. It's very interesting, but the truth is what matters always. So what you see right here, literally, is the northern lights, which the aurora, tripping borealis in the north. What you see here is the aurora australis, and what I'm saying is, on the flat Earth, this is how it would have to work out. I'm the first to draw it out on the flat earth for y'all, for flat earthers. Okay. And so what I'm saying is it can't work out like this. That's why I drew it out, because it debunks it. It can't work. It would have to be a huge circle going around. And I'm going to add more drawings which debunk it so that you can see it. That's why I love my gift of drawing, so that y'all can see what it is I'm saying. I might have to come back. Actually, in the community tab, I'm going to post that art. And what it is, basically, with there being two different poles, or polar revolutions, not poles, but polar revolutions, because people really jump on that word pole. But you see two different circles, one circling in the northern hemisphere and one circling in the southern hemisphere. What I'm saying, for there to be two different circles, by the time you get to the equator, what you see at the equator is like a Dogon type symbol turned to the sideways. You see like the Amma symbol. You see a line, which is the celestial equator, and then you see the start of revolution in the southern hemisphere, and then also in the north. It's like a mirror, basically, when you're at the equator. So what that is showing is that there has to be the stars have to start circling when you get to the edge, closer to the edge of what would be on a flat Earth. If we're speaking in the sense of if the Earth was flat, and upon you getting closer to the ice wall, you would have to continue to see the southern lights not go around that pole and in the correct direction as the stars are circling. They would have to go in. It would have to curve inward. The southern lights would have to curve inward, if you comprehend what I'm saying. That's why I say when I draw it out, which I wish I had it already drawn out, because it'll make it easier to comprehend what I'm saying. Uh, on the side of this, the southern lights has to curve inward. When you get to the equator, you see the lights turn that way. If you're right here, if you got down here to South America, you're going to see the lights, a line is going to be a perfect line. The stars that are going around the center in the north are going to go that way, around the north, like that. The stars that are down here at the south, you're going to see that line right there at the equator as the stars, and then they're going to start going this way. You get what I'm saying? They're going to go the opposite way. If you look east and west, you're going to see a straight line of stars, the celestial sphere, equator. But the stars would turn this way, going around some pole, if you get what I'm saying. If you don't want to say pole, but they would be revolving, basically the opposite way of the stars that are inward. And on a flat, that would mean that the southern lights, well, on a flat Earth, it just couldn't work, because the pole would have to be this way, the opposite, going the opposite way. So therefore, the lights have to follow the same rhythm as well. On a flat Earth, the northern and southern lights, they would have to be connected as well. Why wouldn't you see them even at the equator? You don't see this. It just couldn't work out. It just could not work out. There's no way for it to work out. But I'm glad that I drew it out, and I'm going to draw out more. I might even draw it. Let me see if I can quick sketch it out. Post it to the drive, and then so that people can comprehend real good what I'm saying. Just take 1 second. Let me see. Okay. Just a second. All right, so you add this like that, which is I'm gonna have to draw like a freaking child. Yeah, I gotta get this done quick. whatever going on the other side. Just and what I'm saying is, from a top view, that'll be the ice wall, and that's the ring that has to be around there. If you are right here, this is the equator. That's the equator, and then at that equator, okay, so less a star trail's equator. I mean to say that's what I need to say. So that's what you see at the equator. A mirroring starting. You see the north on that side, and then you see the south on the other side. Okay. So basically, what I'm saying is, you would see in the south, it would be no polar star. So I need to no polar star, but a revolution going on. Cooking it up over here. All right, I'm taking a picture of it now, and I have it uploaded, and I'll be explaining. This looks like kindergarten artwork. So okay, so that's it. No, that ain't gonna be in. Yeah, well, it will. Yeah, there we go. This is what I just drew out right here, and I'm adding to it too. But basically, what I'm explaining is, as you can see, what I'm saying is these are the southern lights right here. This is America. This is South America. And when you get right here at the equator, what you would see is this right here. You would see a convergence going towards south, one towards north, like I just pulled up. Let me make it show its screen. Yeah, it's screen sharing. And one towards north. This circles around. Uh, when you would look, also when you would be right here at the equator, you would look up at the sky in the south. The farther you go towards the south, you would see a polar revolution, but not a star, not like Polaris, because it ain't no polar star down there. That's what I'll give people. But what you would see is a polar revolution. The stars do factually go in a circle. There's a southern cross and everything that people use to navigate. And what I'm saying is that, as you can see, these stars are going this way. And what I'm saying is this right here, it have to go the opposite way of the stars. The auroras would have to spin and go with the earth this way, going the opposite of the circle of the stars. Because mind you, this is what I had put right here. It started to was the North Star. Because when you're at the north and you would look up and you would see the stars circling right here, pivoting around a circling point right above the earth. And so what I'm saying, and I'm gonna draw it out more simply with this one on the back to conclude, is that basically the auroras on the flat earth would, based on when you get to the south, for them to be going around the South Pole, unless it's two poles on the flat earth like a MasterCard symbol, which is a whole new way of introducing the flat earth. Two people, if the earth was flat, that's a whole different concept right there. Like two nipples, two titties, is what it would. That's the only way you can. That's the only way that you could, that it could still be flat, and there, be two polar revolutions, and then these southern lights go around the pole as well, because they can be seen from not only Tasmania but South America as well, Antarctica, all the way around. And I'm drawing out what it's supposed to look like right now. I'm sending another one right now. Okay. Here's a new one. I like how fast Drive is, really fast. It helped me be able to do what I need to quick. So if you can imagine yourself zooming into the flat earth, wherever you at as far as North America, If you travel down to South America right there, what I'm saying is, you know what I just showed you to look like at the equator. But the farther south that you go, like Tasmania, you will see the stars going around the pole. And therefore, what I'm saying, if Antarctica, the ice wall is right here, the southern lights have to revolve and do revolve around the pole. Okay? So the southern lights will have to literally curve the opposite way for it to be a flat earth. You get what I'm saying? Real simple. It'll have to curve the opposite way. Instead of going, that's why I drew it up, because it can't work like that. It can't do that, because it's going the opposite of what nature is showing. The stars, when you really go out there and observe yourself in nature, it's doing the complete opposite. So that's why I drew it out for flat earth, is because it just don't work out. If you get that, you get that. And if I didn't explain it clearly enough for you, I'm willing to explain it better. But that's why I use pictorial representation, so that people could comprehend. And now that's why I say the flat earth it's not stupid. I wouldn't call it stupid. It's not stupid, but it don't mean it's the truth. And if the earth was flat, what I am letting you know, it would have to be two titties like going on. Period, point blank. Like a pole on one side and a pole like two eyes. You get what I'm saying? Instead of one. And that's something I haven't seen as a concept in itself be presented to people or brought up. So I'm gonna just let that conclude there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna end it there. Already, Brandon Lobs already. PR, if you think about it, the sun moves east to west or west to east in a sine wave pattern. Does it ever make a circle to justify the equator? That's a good point to mention. Because when you think about it, does it ever make a circle to justify the equator? Following the line of the stars, basically. I mean, it's kind of like when I think about, Mario, when he runs to one end of the screen and then pop up on the next. It's similar to that as far as what I'm trying to comprehend. You might be trying to ask me about. Is it making a circle or doing something like that, possibly? I don't know if I'm comprehending your question all the way correct. You might be able to clarify it better for me. In a sine wave pattern. Because a sine wave is an S, of course. East to west in a sine wave pattern. Because when you look at the world clocks, that's what you see. You see the moon and then you see the sun. And moving east to west in a sine wave pattern. Like, let me see, I'm going to show it real quick. I think this is kind of what you're asking me about. Yeah. This is it. The website, at least. I ain't saying that this is what you're saying, but this. That's the first thing that came to mind. The sine wave and east to west. Is that kind of what you're asking me about? Just for people who don't know what a sine wave is. I ain't calling nobody stupid. I ain't calling nobody that I'll just do it. Some people need refreshing, or they want to see proof more so. That might be what you're asking me about. if that's the question, though, I don't think I know for sure that the map ain't set up like that because there's a perpendicular aspect going on for sure, like as far as the pole and uh, an antipode going on. China being on the opposite side, India, all of that stuff being on the opposite side of the United States upon going north. That has to go on both cosmologies, whether flat or a globe. So this right here, I definitely would not say is going on for sure. The Mario screen thing, because it just jacks up a lot. And, east to west, west to east, conjoining those, kind of like bending. I guess I might be comprehending. Shout out to you, man. I'm gonna let this one end here though. I'm gonna let it stay open for probably run for probably an hour, just in case somebody do get the ump to. I'll drop the link again for the one, and I'm gonna let it run for an hour because I did say before, I got hackers watching me. They'll think that I'm playing some stuff. So at the end of the day, I said I'm gonna leave it running for at least 2 hours, and I'm gonna hold up to my word. So I'm gonna let it run for 2 hours and 16 minutes. That's an hour more from now. I'm pretty sure no one is going to click the link and provide a debate against this Southern Lights stuff that I'm bringing. I know ain't nobody came with a mind to, like I have with this. It fucks a flat earther up, man. I'm telling you, man. It'll make you think hard, bro. Make them think real hard. Like, what have I been doing? But I'm thankful for everybody who's come through and has an open mind. Feel free to hit the link. I'm gonna mute my mic and I'm about to work on other stuff. I got things to do. But as soon as somebody come up for a debate, I'm right here. I was saying maybe I need to pull up my art too on the screen, in case a flat earther want to debate that. Any questions, any debates, feel free to click the link. Do not be scared. I'm not ignorant. I will not cuss you out. I will not call you names. I will not do any of that. Don't ever feel like that's gonna happen unless you do the same. Unless you do that, that's where you're gonna get the dark side. That's all. That's the only way you're gonna get the dark side. That's it. Other than that, Corey is cool. That's water. All right. And oh yeah, my point in leaving this open like that is to prove, leaving it open and sitting like this is to prove that there ain't no flat earther who's gonna debate me or debunk me. You know what I mean? In a very silent, they say that silence can speak the most. So I'm being real silent and leaving the title says enough. It's constructive because at the end of this, you come to a solution. That's why I coined the term constructive debate because it's about coming to a solution. When you debate, you're supposed to come to a solution. What's the truth? Because otherwise, you're just wasting time. So I'm helping people come to a solution, a point, and I'm open for anybody, even BS. You understand? Yeah, even BS to come on through. You understand? But I'm knowing he ain't. Huh? Uh huh. I'm gonna give y'all a little update on the project as well. Okay, I'm gonna read that in just a second. I got you. I'm gonna let y'all see what this project as far as the art, because I know y'all ain't seen it. My real art, the project, what it's looking like. It's not the full thing, but this is the full thing. If you understand what I'm saying. Boy, do you see that? Boy, that shit fired in the boy, that shit crazy, man. I'm here to tell you the truth. 4.5. That's crazy, man. That's a crazy ass shit. But look, let me read that. I got you. Let me see. Uh, my bad. Looking fire. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I think so too, man. Not to be cocky. I'm crazy. Look like the computer did it. It took a lot of time. I respect your work, bro. You actually doing real work to prove your point, unlike some other flat Earth channels we know who specifically. I appreciate it. I ain't down on him. He doing this. My whole thing is whether he righteous behind it or not. You know, if you see the truth, at least uh, I ain't you because I don't need anybody thinking I'm out here to tear anybody down, competing with them. I'm not trying to compete or put myself over anybody. It's just when you say you want debates, I'm one for it. I'm keeping it real, man. I'm on another level. Balanced truths. You ask how horizontal is on a sphere. My reply would be canyons and mountains. Hmm. The Earth cannot be flat. Hmm. We know what you are. I know where you at with it. It's not flat. Uh, Equal, not deviating. Couldn't be a mountain and a valley. Hmm. PR Corey, check out Tartaria page on Discord. Man, they ain't even got Discord to be honest. I ain't gonna lie. I wonder if they got a YouTube Tartaria page on Discord. You can get some good debates with flat Earth and globe Earths. That'll be what's up. That'll be what's up for any good flat earther, strong minded flat earther to debunk what I'm saying. That'll be nice. A nice intellectual fight. Yeah, but see what I'm saying? This right here is the mediating point. It's something proven the shape of the earth. I I was actually when I came back, I was supposed to come back with another because before this, my last one was number 54, the pixelated circle. I was supposed to come back and do the pixelated sphere after that, but I didn't do that. I ended up coming back with the Southern Lights. So I got a lot of content actually saved up in the vault. I got experiments and stuff I need to carry out, other questions to produce the flat Earth that debunk. I ain't gonna say debunks it on that, but it'll definitely add on to what I'm doing with the debunking here. Uh, I just got a lot of content saved up. Ain't had nothing but time to think and come up with new stuff. Truth at that, not just coming up with stuff, but searching for truth. So this right here, if the earth was flat, man, think about all of the ancient cosmology, Mayan cosmology, the Hunabku, everything niggas and pulled up and talked about. It's right there. it's, it's still right there. That's the crazy thing about it. Globe or flat, it's right there, bro. That's wild. Like all of the elements. That's why it's colored what it's colored for a reason. 4 and 5, fire. That's crazy. Blue, that's the water, of course. This shit just crazy, man. If this shit was in a computer, it just goes on forever. It's almost scary how infinite it is. And this ain't even a piece, a full half of the project. I have finished the border. Everything is finished. Now I'm coloring in. If you want to know where I'm at, I'm coloring in the big zero. I'm finishing it now, coloring in everything in blue. I had to stop and choose whether I'm going to put my face in the background or not. Because if I put my face in the background, I'm going down in history. Like my artist right there. But I said, it's really not just about me. It's about the world. So I really put a zero on what I'm going to do is put the continents. You know how I'm going to put the continents of the azimuthal equidistant map because it's both of them. It's both the flat earth and the globe. It's the globe flattened out. So if I figured if I do that, because I'm trying to appeal to both audiences, both globe and flat. The truth being the middle, mid grounds of the truth. So that in itself, that's gonna be crazy. Huh? Inside of the zero, I'm putting the continents. Everything else is gonna be blue like water. But that secret is going to be put in the continents. And these ley lines is what this is, the Nazca lines. If you could think about that Nazca star, I'll go into some more stuff down here. Angkor Wat, everything that I've taught about. Angkor Wat, the pyramid, every single pyramid you see. If you could think of what I drew out like a board, if the earth was flat, that's where you could play with this shit. You could play with it like it's flat. You could really play with it. But it's showing the true geography of the earth through the pixelization, the curve. Because everything, like I was saying, when it comes to pixels, well, I was not live. I was talking to the hackers. I forget that I wasn't live. I was telling them when it come down to the pixels. Because I be talking out loud, but I can't help but realize these folks here, because what they do, how I know I'm hacked is my phone be heating up a lot, bro. If I'm talking about certain shit or researching certain shit, my phone heats up so damn much, man, and it'll get the fucking up and doing all type of shit. And it's just wild. And it's somebody in the community that knows about it is all I'm saying. They part of it. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying names like that because I'm real like that. But if you can read between the lines, you can read between the lines. But if you put this on top of what I drew out, then Angkor Wat. Did I click on that one already? Yeah, that's it. There it go. Goals. Angkor Wat. The fractal map. Everything is the same thing over and over and over again, man. You can't tell that that's Angkor Wat right there, but that's the city of Angkor Wat. That's what I was supposed to add right there. Was my face in the background. So now I'm coloring in this whole project blue. I was supposed to add my face. Boy, that would have went down in history. Like this project worth some money. I'm telling you, man, it's some money, cash money. I ain't fucking playing, boy. See, at this point, only workable on a level. I hate that I put stuff like that because this is where I was at that point as far as explaining my work to people. This is where I was at. But I also been explaining that my work is going to reveal the shape of the earth. At that point, flat earth is winning, to keep it real and 100. Like I say, I'm not a glober or a flat earther. I'm just focused on the truth. And whichever one is providing the most evidence of being the truth, that's the one that I'm rolling with. At that point, flat earth was making the most sense, period, point blank. But upon me thinking and utilizing my mind, I realized some stuff like I showed today, and it would only be wrong for me to realize something that can't work out on something and just try to make it work out. It just wouldn't be real to me. So that's Anchor Watt. It's so much stuff I could lay. Weed. Ain't nothing up in here. No other inappropriate pictures or nothing like that. Sex pictures, pornography or nothing. I don't even think you'll see something wrong. I'm looking for the NASCAR one. I mean, that really is it. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there it is. Amazing. That's where I was at with that at that time. I went through so much, man, figuring out about this stuff. It's just been crazy because both of them have the same geometry. So I had to figure out which one it was which route I had to take. Red pill or blue pill. That's what this all been about all year. Literally, the, the Matrix. It's crazy. The Matrix. The NASCAR Sunstar. Mhm. Don't forget the pyramid is still being built here. That's the other thing. I ain't done with that. Now it's time for me to draw out the 3D. The pyramid is still being built here on the United States soil. That's what the whole point of the project is for too. Like I had brought up that all of the ancient pyramids, you could line them up on my work. They're cold. Yup. That's what it is. That's the real page. If you wanted to follow it or something, you can go check it out. It's still active, still up. So with all of that astral projection stuff that is talked about, if you read this stuff up here, when one dreams, one's consciousness naturally shifts to the back of the head. This is more so the case when one has a lucid dream. One's reptilian brainstem, reticular activating formation, determines the depth of one's quantum realm dreams. It is via one's lucid dreams one can contact another form of intelligence, which the ancient Egyptians considered to be associated with Sirius. In essence, one's lucid dreams are one's personal stargate. So, when y'all talk about the Pharaoh or other ancient cosmologists talk about the Pharaoh was trying to astral project and use these different builds, I'm gonna call it pyramids and stuff like that, in order to help heighten their consciousness and project it to a higher reality, or whatever the case may be. That's my head. If you tilt that at a 45-degree angle, then you get that. And if I raise my eye up, if I drew myself in the background, I was going to raise up my eyes to look at the 4 and 5. Now you know how Jesus has us. This is a number 0, and he has a halo, and he has always a 4 this cross that's in the background. So when y'all be hearing people, I'm not being what you call blasphemous or anything like that, but I just always have pointed out in the past the similarities that I be seeing. So it's really wild. But yeah, I just wanted to go through that. I'm gonna keep on sitting and waiting on the debate. I'm gonna see if anybody has had anything to say. Hmm. To define it, I'm gonna go to the top for real, for real. Yo, God Flame, what's good with you? You up in here? Flat earthers admit they do a lot of thinking to come up with something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. They think. That's one thing I'll give them. They have a very good imagination, and imagination is important. The sky can't prove the ground. Period. You can have a 2D surface in a 3D world, or can you have a 2D surface in the 3D world? Hmm. A 2D surface in a 3D world, like a piece of paper inside of a world. I mean, the paper is composed of. It's not really. Uh, hmm, it's not really. Of course, it's flat, but as well, it's made up of stuff that is not flat. When you zoom in on it, paper ain't. It's rough. It's rounded things that got a 360 like that come together when you really look at it. But as far as what you're saying, like a flat ground inside of a globe, and you have a 2D surface in a 3D world. It's a good question. That's what I will give it. Real talk. The use of astronomy proves the Earth is a globe, from stars not seen from all areas of the Earth to fixed stars rotating over the poles, star trails. The Earth is a globe, I mean to say. I think I said not a globe when I read that. Right, that's true. That there I will say is true. It just takes a certain mind to comprehend it, that when you get to the equator and you see stars start to converge under and go the opposite way, you can't have that. Like what I'm gonna show y'all real quick is because I'm a screen share. When you look at a dome, this is what I'm gonna show flat earthers. Um, what I'm gonna show flat earthers is at the ground on a flat earth. The stars never turn the opposite way, is what I'm telling you. At the horizon, when you look at the horizon, the stars will always follow a flat line. They don't, you see how when I pulled up the equator earlier, they would never start turning that way. You get what I'm saying? Turning down under the ground to revolve under something. If you under a dome like the flat earthers are saying, the stars just going the closer you get to the horizon, they're gonna make a straight line like this here. I mean, if you zoom yourself, because of course you're bigger, so it changes the perspective of stuff. So you would have to scale yourself down under this dome to amalgamate it with the flat earth and what they are, saying. So you would have to zoom yourself down to real small and then look and realize that if everything is fractal, it'll all be the same thing. And so the stars that you see at the horizon would always follow a straight line darn near, besides this little convergence that you see here, but you would never see them start to loop like and make the Dogon symbol. I'm really looking for the bottom. They probably got more relative pictures over here. But this is where when they make these, it makes it very good of a. It's the closest thing you'll get to the scale of a flat Earth as far as its celestials. a real representation of the celestial dome you're supposed to be in on the flat Earth. You don't see the stars start to converge if you were at the equator, which would be the middle circle. You don't see the stars start to turn down under the ground. It just doesn't. It don't work like that. That's very important. Can't find. They're looking more straight up. You get that? You get what I'm saying there? I hope everybody comprehends that. Try again. You said try again. That's funny. You must be talking to my brother Balance Truths or something. Y'all in here going in. Okay, let me go back to what I was reading. Okay, right. You only observe astronomy. You can never verify a distance or what the source of it is. Just an observation. I get that too. I get that. You can't measure how far away the stars is. When you go up far enough, a lot of people point out that you can't see them no more. In a lot of cases, I don't know whether it's due to lighting or what, but I get what you're saying about that. That is true. But you can't verify a distance. That is the problem with flat earthers. They lack the knowledge of how to determine distances. Even without the distance, you still see the Earth's rotation by star trails. And that is true too. It's very true. The distance really is not relative as far as realizing that I'm saying about the stars don't converge and turn at the ground level under and go under the earth, loop under. You can watch the stars disappear over the horizon while sailing to the south and the north, proving the Earth's curve obstructs. To define distance, you need parallel lines. You can't have converging parallel lines that intersect. We use Euclidean geometry straight line measurements. The globe is non-Euclidean. Important, very, very important. Try radar. How far under the sea level is the sun? How far under the sea level is the sun? I don't get that one. I ain't gonna lie. How far under the sea level is the sun? Ever? Never. The sun is not under the water. Well, okay, I get what you're saying. When you mean when it sets or something, how far under the sea level is it? LOL, the sun. The sun is under sea level. Let's try this on the equinox. Every place on Earth will see the sun rise due east and set west and set due west. Explain how that is possible on a flat Earth. If you say the North Pole is the center of your flat Earth and the sun is above the equator, is the sun west, east, and west of the North Pole, or is it south? I love how y'all carrying yourself. Y'all ain't being ignorant in the comment section. Y'all debating each other intellectually, and that's how I would like it to be over here. Real talk. I can prove the sky is in a globe and uses longitude and latitude. Try again. Y'all funny. But yeah, man, it's just a trip when you look at all ancient cosmology. What I've been showing, it mirrors that. But then at the same time, it's just wild that it's proven what it's proven. I'm gonna pull up that pixelated globe actually, because that's gonna be with my probably next stream is. This is the pixelated circle. So this is the pixelated circle. Y'all realize that with pixelization, that's really what my work is going into, the base pixelization. Because at the end of the day, the more pixels that you have like on the screen, the smoother reality looks. You get what I'm saying? But the rougher, the less pixels you got, the rougher it's going to look. So what I'm saying is that when it comes to reality and this thing that we're talking about called a curve, if light is linear, people, how am I going to construct this? Um, the more pixels that you have, the smoother something is going to look. There's a pixelization rate, basically what I'm getting at, to our reality that we live in. That's why you have cells, and when your skin looks smooth, but when you zoom in on it, it's rough. Pretty much everything that you perceive as smooth in this reality, when you zoom in on it, there's a pixelization, so to say, of atomic structure is what they be explaining. Even if you don't believe in atoms, I'm just using that word, molecular atomic structure. A pixelization is a root, uh, a builder, the building blocks, basically. And the more that you have, the bigger the grid and smaller the squares, the smoother things appear to be. That's why with video games, this all goes into the virtual, the video games, the less pixels it is on a curve, then the more rough it's going to look. It's going to look rigid. The more pixels they add to these games and frame rate, the smoother everything looks, and it looks more real. Okay. That's what causes things to be smooth looking. And as you can see, this is what I'll be showing as far as the Chicana, or my discovery that I made. So the Chicana, and consider Mayan cosmology. That's the Chicana right there. Okay. So this is like what the ancestors was really on, the base pixels. Almost the same thing. Almost. Just a number count. So it's like the whole thing, everything being made up of everything almost. The universe united versus. That. No, the pixelated sphere. This is what I'm coming back talking about next time, the pixelated sphere. You got a pixelated circle, and then you have a pixelated sphere. When you look at this pixelated sphere, one thing that I realize about it is it's always this common thing. If you zoom in on that right there, you see 3D wise, you see the exact same symbol, the same thing that's on my work at the center. The Nazca, the straightest star. There's a better angle. And so you see basically what I'm getting at. You see the same thing right here, and then you see the same thing over here. Then you see the same thing up here at top, and you see the same thing. You can pretty much figure the same thing be at the bottom, at the back, and then on this other side. That's the same thing when you look at what I'm drawing out. Everything from those sides, that from the top to the bottom, left and right, front and back, they all look exactly alike from every view. If you got directly in front of them, you would see the same exact thing. And so the Nazca star, and when you, I'm not saying that the globe is like this. That's not what I'm saying. As far as water, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm getting into what they call the building blocks of reality, the fractal building blocks, how everything can connect and build, and the directions um, of the compass at that Nazca. Now remember that I just showed you right there at the front of that, on all front, back, side to side, all of that. It's straight. The center of this, as you can see, would be that. And it's a big thing that's out there on the ground. You see this right here? Boom, 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 right there. Boom, boom, boom. This would basically be like a, it's almost like they, basically what they were doing was pointing out that I just showed. And all of those lines would be dealing with the ley lines of the earth. They were basically doing something, figuring out the geographical shape of the earth. What we doing now, pretty much. So you have that right there, and then you have that. So you can pretty much figure out what it is that we're trying to, or what they were working on. It's pretty amazing stuff, man. How it's so consistent like that. But that's why I brought up the octahedron, because that's what my work really is. It's not really a cube, it's an octahedron. That's what it really is. hmm I got to get my food out of the stove. Hash browns, man. I'm leaving the burn. So with that said, I'll be right back. But I think we almost at 2 hours. I see nobody had a debate. I'm gonna scroll down for you. Whoa. Yeah, I'm a little busy, but I got smoke for him. Who it is? You talking about PR Corey? You got some smoke? Who it is, homie? Or you talking about I'm Wilson, the brother on Wilson? I'll be back. I gotta go get this food before it turn into smoke. Real talk. would love to hear what ODD now anybody got to say. The biggest flat earthers. I'd love to hear what they got to say. Okay. Sorry, that was a motorized pen. Go up. Ain't the up button on work? Oh, it was already here. I ain't even noticed it. Einstein's theory of relativity did not explain how we can do anything to test for the rotation of the Earth. Bob Knodel, a flat earther, used a laser gyroscope and proved the Earth rotates a 15-degree drift. A flat earther did that. Dang, that's crazy. Did Einstein use a gyroscope? Flat earther like mischaracterized comments. A motorized gyroscope. I asked you a question, please answer. Motorized gyroscope. I'm sorry, that was a motorized pendulum. Be right back. Is the sun at the equator? Is the sun at the equator east and west of your center of the flat earth or south? If south, how do you explain the equinox? As flat earthers say, every direction from the as flat earthers say, every direction from the North Pole is south, right? That's true. How can the sun rise and set due east and west on the equinox? On the South Pole, which direction is north towards the ground or the sky? Another example in Hobart, Tasmania, which is 4,400 miles from the equator. On the equinox, the sun actually rises exactly due east and sets exactly due west. How is that possible? Down where you can see the southern lights too, Tasmania. hmm Hmm. I get what you're saying when you say that. When you keep talking about the shape of the ground, you keep pointing to the sky, and there's no way to verify what's under your feet. I comprehend where you're coming from, but also, if you are to find out, or if you could see what the Earth truly looks like as a whole, how would you see it? From the sky, not the ground, right? If we was to find out definitively what the Earth was today and see a full picture of the Earth ourselves, like NASA claimed that they do and everything, right? The way that you would do that would be what? Going up into the sky. Besides that, all we can do is use mathematics and what we observe with our senses as far as the water and how it appears to be completely flat. But when you zoom in on any sphere, super, super far, that's where I'm getting at with the pixelization and the pixelated sphere. That's where that comes into play. Because when you zoom in on the sphere, you're going to have flat surfaces, perceivably flat surfaces like that. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to skip this. You didn't answer my question, but I will answer your north and south are not up and down. The ground is down, the sky is up. Now your turn, please answer. So at the south, y'all know y'all can come up here. Y'all don't have to be in the comment section. Y'all could come up here if y'all want to. It's always free. I got 10 minutes. I said I was gonna go until 2 hours and 16. I know nobody's gonna come up. If y'all wanted to, I know y'all would have been in came. So the South Pole is north, up towards the sky, or down towards the ground. And how does that make sense with direction? I agree you will have to be away from it to get the whole picture. Hmm. Right. Try again. My question, it should be simple. Both the ground and the sky exist, and they are in relation to one another. In mathematics and geometry, all ground measurements or earthly measurements, we use Euclidean straight line measurements, water levels, yardsticks, miles, all straight lines. Right. I comprehend that. I get that. It's a reason why we're not big enough to measure curves as far as miles. That's why we break it down in yardsticks and lines and stuff, rulers, feet, meters, and stuff like that, because it just won't make sense for us to use something curved to measure something uh, that's right here in front of us. So the sky doesn't exist because you are on the ground. This is a question. I don't mean to be eating in anyone's ear either. I'm not asking you to measure the sky. I'm asking you why on the equinox, every place on the earth, the sun rise due east and set due west. What is the reason the globe is non-Euclidean? Therefore, hold on, my bad. What is the reason the globe is non-Euclidean? Therefore, we don't measure it using what we measure everything else with. We measure it using what we measure everything else with. Hmm. I'm trying to find the best way that I can answer that without bringing up what, the fractal thing I was just talking about. I mean, you basically getting at the fact that you mean that we need some type of curve measurement instrument, right, to measure the globe instead of parallel lines like you're, bringing up. You think we need a curve, like a curve ruler or something? You know, Freemasons have something called the past master emblem, and that deals with the quadrant. You know what I'm talking about? It has a curve under it, and they use that with the stars and boats sailing. Oh yeah, I can't forget. I gotta read the rest. I measured the globe. Anyone can measure the globe. You just need the knowledge. You still are not answering my questions again. They come up with some fake math, which is spherical geometry that has no definitions. Wilson, you keep asking why the sky does this, and that's why you can't use the sky, because you can't measure it or verify anything. You can only observe it. The ground, you can come to a conclusion. Hmm. I feel like you can use both of them. I'm just be honest. I feel like wisdom is using both of them. Real talk. I see that they did a great justice. What do you call StreamYard took it where they don't show where you mute your mic no more. That way it don't be corny looking. But anyway, again, is the North Pole the center of your flat Earth? Again, okay. Again, if the North Pole is the direction, the North Pole is the center of your flat Earth, then every direction is south. But on the equinox, every place on Earth, including the North Pole, sees the sun rise and set east and west. Hmm. I'm letting y'all handle y'all debate. I'm the judge sitting in the center. And I don't mean to talk from my mouth full. I'm sorry about that. They came up with great circles, but it's easily debunked because it's just stolen concepts from a circle. Hmm. Great circles, yeah. I remember that being brought up in the past. Again, I am asking you to observe what we observe on the equinox. Explain how it is possible on the flat earth. You refuse to answer because you know the only answer is the earth is a sphere. Hmm. Yeah, I got a countdown going on. I'm finna end the stream. I would keep it going if y'all was on the panel, honestly, but I can't keep on doing this. You know what I mean? Like I said, I got other things to do and stuff. But I see that what I have shown as far as the Southern Lights, no flat earther can, man, real talk. That's what I'm getting at. And so, any strongest flat earther you got, you let them know. But until next time, because I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream and go ahead and do what I do. Y'all stay safe, and I appreciate everybody who came through and showed support, dropped a question. Uh, Anytime you got a question, just let me know. Balance truths. I know we had words in the past. I wasn't as respectful as I am now. Real talk. Because I felt like you was on some BS back in the past, but you know what I mean. There ain't nothing I'm taking personal, no grudges I'm holding. At the end of the day, I appreciate you coming through and taking out time in your life and day to comment. It showed that what I'm showing had some type of work. You learn something from this, uh, and that's what I'm here to do: is help, not teach, but be a messenger of the truth. That's it. I ain't got to be a teacher or nothing. Uh, so where am I asking you to measure anything? It is simple observation. Hobart, you have 4,400 miles south of the equator. Oh yeah, already. You too, Wilson. It is simple observation Hobart user, being 4,400 miles south of the equator, where the sun is located, sees the sun rise exactly due east. That is an observation. Wilson, you stuck and I don't get what you're trying to say. Can you use the ground at all, or are you just stuck in the sky? All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day, man.